Oh wow.
Oh my
गाइस
God.
शैंक रेड चल रहा है गाइस, शैंक रेड चल रहा है, ऐसा लग रहा है। ओह माय गॉड, नेक्स्ट
Yeah,
लेवल शिट।
beautiful. I think we'll have to take
ओके
some
गाइस,
like
Guys,
really
take the screenshots. Take the
Such a
screenshots.
great
oh
moment of pride.
Exactly, exactly.
guys, Shashank Bhaiya is like hopping on stage। oh shit,
Yeah, please take it.
oh my
please.
god,
How was it?
Shank
How was it,
Chacha।
guys? How was
We are
it?
good, sir. What about you?
All good, all good. So nothing. I was just starting my session, and someone said that a lot of people are there in InfoHub community, and I said, "Chalo, let's do a session on InfoHub community today instead of ours." So we'll
Wow.
rate
Oh,
it, and
pleasure
we'll do a
for us.
session with you guys today,
I
like an
think
Yeah,
impromptu collaboration.
Oh, this is going to be fun।
exactly. And it would be a great pleasure for all of us.
Oh, of course, of course. I think someone should go to my room and tell people that we're doing a session today. Also,
oh my god,
imagine, imagine all the people will be sitting there in the room waiting for me to come, and they'll get pissed off. Someone poor. Okay, let me come back. Wait, let me just put it there and come
yeah,
back.
Yeah,
okay।
sure.
oh
Guys, this is
shit,
next level. This is next level.
oh my
This is
god,
a dream come true, I guess.
It's
oh my
I
god।
आज सब story डाल रहे हैं, I'm telling you.
मैं डाल
The
रहा हूँ यार,
all
मैंने तो
tag
Also,
कर सकते हैं.
I
गाइस।
think Navneet went and promoted us over there. Thank you,
अरे
Navneet, and whosoever
Oh,
did that.
Thank you
thank
yeah,
you.
guys.
Thank you
thank you
guys.
so
Really.
much।
Thank you so much.
बाय द
तुषार
वे
पार्टी
गाइस,
देगा
हियर इज द
उसको.
थिंग। अरे मैं पार्टी दूंगा यार, पिज्जा आ रहा है सबके घर पे गाइस, लेट्स डू दिस। ओह माय गॉड गाइस, डू यू थिंक लाइक 200 और 300 मेंबर लाइक लिसनर्स हो जाएंगे टच? व्हाट डू यू थिंक?
आराम से, आराम से.
ओके, शैंक इज बैक।
Yes.
Okay. First of all, what is the main thing of what are you guys discussing? It says is someone manipulating the market, which is very important statement.
No, like that was kind of a clickbait। This is just market talk which we do every single day at 4 p.m. like हम पिछले 4 हफ्तों से कर रहे हैं every single, and we have super amazing panelists who are experienced।
Okay, nice, nice. So what is the market talk today? Because I have just finished a meeting. I've come directly. I've not even opened my
We
thing
See,
to
have
figure
it
out.
was
already
average
discussed.
today. Not so good, not so bad. Like my entire portfolio is in red, and it's like okay for since Monday after the Adani.
See, the reason why we have put the clickbait that way is, see, I don't completely disagree with that clickbait. I've seen on options. I personally feel that when the leverage is down, then they have put it to 1.33. The spikes are too much. Like it's too high. You can see that 100 points here and there with like no seconds, which I feel is
Yeah.
something is happening. See, either the FIs are dumping too fast, right? So it's like it's very fast. So I mean, I don't know what's
Yeah.
happening. So as an option seller, it's VIX is down. You don't see LTPs, and then again a spike comes. That is why I see. And we had Adani as well, Adani incident as well. So I personally felt that okay, something is happening. Right. I want your
True.
views on that. I really want to hear that. What do you have to say about the Nifty
No,
Bank
so
Nifty?
even my portfolio is down only today. It's not like it's up. It's in the red, but it's okay because last 4 days it was up. Last 4 days it's been going up constantly. So one day down is completely fine. But also apparently, so I don't know about how many of you all know technical analysis, but I read today in the morning. So every day before the market opens, if you open moneycontrol.com, there is something known as things to know
Before
of
the
what is going to
market
happen
opens.
before
Yeah,
opening
yeah.
bell.
Yeah.
Correct. So if you look at that, there was someone from HDFC Bank who said that it has formed a doji pattern, which shows that if it starts breaching downwards, it will go down and put a resistance at 15,700. So it might go down, which I think happened today because it has been going up quite a bit in the last few days as well. So the Nifty had to go down. Apparently, they're predicting that it would the resistance over there is 15,700, and you can expect a slight correction. And apart from that, there was someone who also spoke about our poor ITC, and said that if ITC breaches 200 and it goes below 200, it is screwed big time. It'll actually go down a lot. So yeah, it's luckily ITC survived today, didn't go down at all. But yes, coming to your point of is market manipulated? Um, it always it's not manipulated. Let's call it. It's always been concentrated to someone else. Let's put it that way, right? FIIs
I'll
have
say that.
always been what do you call that? Investing heavy in India, and whenever they invest, they literally move the market completely. Yeah.
16K was so much. It was like 16K is coming, but then you see. Do you remember the fall that came 1 minute? You have 300 points gone from Bank Nifty. I think last week only it happened. So it was around 12 p.m. and someone, I don't know what happened. See, it's like you trapping the you're trapping the sellers out there. It's like if you sell and then the stop loss is about to it, and I've particularly seen, if you said technical analysis, they hit the stop loss on the upside, they hit the stop loss on the downside, they come back. Okay, so to the straddle position. I don't know what is that. So if you have any, I think
No,
I
so
want you to.
usually after 12, no. So firstly, what happens? Market opens 9:15, 9:30 until 10 o'clock. You'll see a lot of volatility, right? 10 to 12:30, कुछ भी नहीं होगा entire market में. It'll be very chilled, right? Relaxed. After 12:30 is when the global markets slowly start opening. So when these global market opens, all these people will start investing in India as well. European markets I'm talking about, not US, but European markets open around that time, right? UK, Europe, Germany, all these guys, all these traders will get up and be like, okay, chalo, let's look at how the Asian markets is faring. India is always a very big hub for them to invest. They all have global licenses to invest, so they start taking their positions, right, or selling their positions, either or that way. That is why you always see after 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, you see a lot of momentum happening again in the market. And usually at around 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock is when a lot of people, a lot of companies or big news comes in the market in the Indian perspective that might change the whole market towards the end. Sometimes that happens, right? Last May you will see suddenly sab kuch change ho gaya. So that happens towards 3:30, yes.
But I think this
What
was
is
quite
okay? Yeah,
expected, right,
yeah.
Tushar? Like from the beginning of this week, the technical structure was looking as though the markets is on a bearish side, right? And yesterday, because there was a positive sentiment the way we closed on Monday, so that's why we had this nifty hitting record highs. But even after that, we all knew the correction is expected before it goes to 16K, and Nifty was quite overstretched that way. So I was expecting a big correction. I think tomorrow Bank Nifty should have a 800 to 1000 points movement up or down. Mostly depends. I don't think it really depends on the Fed meet, but yeah, it could be either side. That I think we can predict by the night.
We can see like tomorrow is expiry and thoda sa correction is expected. Shashank sir, don't mind me asking, but are you holding Adani like after this huge loss?
I never held Adani in the first place, not even one stock.
Okay.
So I was very vocal from the beginning that kuch to lafda hai, kuch to sahi nahi, that something's not right. A large market cap company going up 10 times in a year is something unheard of. It's not unheard of. It is something weird. It is something
Exactly.
not right, right?
Also, it's like not one particular stock in that group is going up. It's like all of the stocks in that very group are going up at the same time when they are in different sectors, which is very fishy when you look
Uncommon.
at it. Like how can all of it go up all at once?
And not at a one shot itself.
Correct. That when all
See,
of that happened, I said, you know what, I'm going to stay away from this because when I don't understand something in the market, however tempting it is, I stay away from the market. Right? I stay away from that particular part. There are things that I understand, I'll invest in those things. For example, right now, if you look at the IT sector, doing really well. Sweetheart of the industry right now. Until COVID is there and until dollar is winning and rupee is losing, IT is going to be great. Immediately after that, IT is going to fall. So things you understand, you can take a bet on. Adani and all these short-term hype. See, that's the problem, right? Things like this will go up and then go down instantly at the same time. So it's better to be careful.
hey, I have a question. See, we've been discussing about this like a lot of times. So a lot of people say, is Nifty overvalued? Looking at the PE, but I don't think they see the PE of Adani. What do you have to say about that? They can say Nifty is overvalued, Bank Nifty is overvalued, but Adani hitting upper circuits every day as if it's normal. ठीक है, normal है. Hit तो करना ही upper circuit, and still people are buying it. It's like Adani Power, Adani Infra, and I don't know what not. And now they're trapped, right?
No,
So I
see,
mean, do,
PE always adjusts every quarter. Firstly, right? Every time the result comes out, the PE will get adjusted automatically. Correct?
Yeah.
Now, when someone wins a new order, you will see everyone buying that stock because they're adjusting it for the future PE. Now, what happens is there is a realistic adjustment, like you're connecting the dots and you're saying, you know what, they just won a deal, they'll get 100 crores more added to their bottom line. That means their new PE ratio, their EPS will be so much, their new PE ratio would be so much. That means the stock has to go up 10%, right? They just won a deal, and because of this deal, 10% upar jayega. Something like that. Correct?
Yeah.
Now, if that is the case, right, lot of people start buying it. Okay, a lot of people start buying it, and if a lot of people start buying it, there is a certain level of kitna buy karna chahiye, which is good for the company. Then there is greed which kicks in, which is not good for the company. And over a point of time, Adani mein thoda greed aa gaya, because I'm pretty sure stock price going up by 10 times, kitna bhi deal win karo, it is not the case. But it was more on greed, right? So the greed will get adjusted, but the if they win orders, that revenue will still be the same, but greed doesn't get adjusted. That's the issue.
And so, one more question. Oil prices have been approaching to $75, right? And it is very strange to see that banks are gaining more prices and becoming more strong. So, don't you feel inflation worries here the RBI to take actions against the calming down of inflation, and banks should be weak at this point of time, and this action can be triggered at any point of like time in the near future? What's your take on that?
Which one are you telling exactly?
The oil prices rise, which affects the inflation, and that may worry RBI. And because RBI being worried may take up actions to calm that inflation, so the banking may become weak in the near future. So, what's your take on that?
Yes, very, very, very high possibility. But again, I see now the entire country is growing and everyone's talking a lot about India's growth story. And I don't, and even I think just before the political re-election that comes very soon, everyone wants to show good numbers and good stats. So they will keep the inflation hiked and they will keep the economy growing because no one wants to come and switch off the tap, to be honest.
So
Yeah.
I have a question. Like many people are saying Sensex is going to touch 2 lakhs in next 5 to 10 years. Like I heard many of the sessions from Motilal Oswal and all. I didn't understand any point on that. So like I really want to get here from you. Like what's your take on this? How Sensex is going to like it's completely a prediction type of thing, but how it is going to touch 2 lakhs in next 5 to 10 years? I really want to reconnect
Easily,
with
it'll
you.
easily touch 2 lakhs in the next 5 to 10
Yeah.
years. Very
Because
easily.
India is a growing economy, and already the foreigns China and USA have already shown so much boom. So, and India is having at a very lower cost to grow, right? So I guess India will get more of deals, and jab deals badhega, then obviously economy will grow, and
Yeah,
infrastructural and stuff are growing in India at a greater pace.
Look
exactly.
at
Yeah.
if you looked at your scam 1992 when Sensex was 2000, now it's 50,000. That's a 25x growth in how many years? 30 years,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 25 times growth in 30 years. Now you're saying in another 20 years, you're saying will it not grow 4x
No, of
Yeah.
course it will grow. Yeah,
easily,
good
right?
point. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
See,
So that's
Any
I
take?
have this one
Go ahead,
philosophical
Krishna.
question related to the investment as well. Why do you think, Shashank, people react to panic more? So, like, whenever the crash is coming, they're like, okay, now we have to sell, sell, sell. And when there is time to buy, they try to run. And that is why you see people who short anything, commodity or stock, earn more. People who go long on it. Why is that? Why do you think that people are actually reacting to panic more than they're reacting to joy?
Uh, the thing is, no one likes losing money and no one likes seeing red in their portfolio, to be honest, right? And if you think about this from a very, see, I'll tell you what. Do you know that red in our heads itself, psychologically also, red, if me and you see red, we always considered it bad,
Yeah,
correct?
danger. Yeah.
Danger. If I ask you what does red signify to you, you would say danger. If I ask you what is green significant to you, you will be like prosperity,
Yeah.
right? Now imagine when your portfolio goes down, it shows yellow color. automatically half the people wouldn't be so scared. Number one, right?
It's
So a lot of psychology plays there. Number one, but the main thing is people don't like. See, people always want the best case scenario, not ready for the worst case scenario. To be honest, right? I want my money. I want to invest 1,000 rupees today, and I want it to always be up and never be down. At least be green, right? Even if it's going up and down, it should be green always, right? And I've seen so many people ask me the same question, saying there's one stock that is going down constantly. Why are you still holding it? Because people want the best case scenario, don't like the worst case scenario. Okay, so when you get up in the morning, open your portfolio, and you see that the stock has gone down and it is red, so you will feel little scared, right? You'll be like, "Arey yaar, aaj bhi loss, aaj bhi loss, aaj bhi loss, aaj bhi loss," and then you just sell it off eventually. So that's why people panic a lot. You should just, if I could tell that same person that, you know what, don't sell it today, I will transport you 1 year into the future and I will show you your portfolio, and then you come back, would you still keep it or not?
Yeah.
Right, so that makes a lot of sense. So always, people don't look at the long term perspective, people always look at the short term perspective. That's something that they
it's
do.
co- it's completely different in China. Whenever the market goes up, it's red. And whenever the market goes down, it's green. I don't know why they've done that, but it's totally opposite. Okay. But like okay,
Yeah.
we have, yeah, so we get, see, I personally get a lot of questions. We try to analyze Nifty Bank. I want to know your experience. We've been talking about stocks, about like Nifty Bank, whoever is trading. So there we have a lot of new traders coming in who say we have to do options or futures on Nifty Bank. What is your experience as a trade? You've traded, I know. So what is your experience as a trader when you have traded in Nifty Bank? is it
Oh
is
well,
it like
I've traded in Nifty Bank and got a lot of loss, insane amount of loss, because Nifty Bank is sometimes very, 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 very volatile. Number one,
yeah,
suddenly it moves very fast. Your entry point can be cheap if you're in, or if you're investing even in the money or even out of the money, it is still decent enough for a trader to take a position. And then you keep hedging more and you lose more money. It's very volatile, and some days it is not volatile at all. Basically, it doesn't move. It's like a tortoise, right? In fact, when that happens, your premium decay happens, and then you're like, shit, move somewhere, at least go some up or down, right? Because sometimes you're trying to be smart and you'll take both CE and PE positions to hedge the risk, and whatever moves you'll sell it. All that smart tricks will be played, but then nothing else works. So when it comes to Bank Nifty, I don't know. I feel it's very difficult for me to judge whether it's going to go up or down. All the indicators are there, all the volume analysis is there, everything I can see. But I have seen cases where everything says it should go up, and then suddenly it goes down. I've seen 1,000 cases where volume is there, buyers pressures coming in, everything's going up. Suddenly, some bank releases their result and it crashes the entire thing. And that is something that I feel scared to predict. I rather predict on something like, instead of Nifty Bank, I prefer investing in normal stocks, right? The futures and options of stocks I'm talking about. For example, if someone's recently given a result, okay, and if the result is good, then I'm predicting that it will go up. Or if I can predict a favorable few outcome for one of the IT stocks, maybe take an IT stock CE call option and sit, right? And here also, what the advantage I have is I have time to wait. It's not like मेरा एक दिन में पूरा screw हो गया, right? The expiry is not a weekly expiry, it's a monthly expiry. So I find that little bit easier for me. I'm not saying what is better and what is not. For me, that is more easier than Bank Nifty, is what I would say.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think Bank Nifty is like a full day job. Where you have to be sitting in front of your thing and keep checking. You never know when that sudden move comes, and when it comes, it just goes all at once. Like, dharam, I'll fall. Dharam, I'll go up, and that's always there. And that's why Bank Nifty never fails to surprise us. No matter how much you do, वो वही करेगा जो उसको करना है. Yeah, Tushar, I think
Completely
you had a
agree.
question.
see, no, I think I was asking you, Shashank, AGM of Reliance 24th. Okay, a lot of volatility there, and a lot of people are holding it. A lot of traders are there that want to go long on it, or they either want to short it. What is? I mean, how do you think has it happened before? How has the AGM performed before? Like, what do you think is? It doesn't matter what they announce. Even if they announce the Armaco is there and we are doing everything, still people short. Still people book profits and leave. It's like 7, 8%. Last year this happened. What's in the back for
Yeah.
this year? Or
See, every time there's something like a big event that happens, there's always an issue, right? Whenever something big happens, there's always a volatility expected, whether it goes up or down. Last time, the main reason why it went down was because it went up till the AGM, right? Because one by one, week after week, there was funding news, funding news, funding news. It kept going up, it kept going up, and then towards the AGM, it fell down because it had to correct now. But now, what I look at, if you look at Reliance, it's been consolidated for a very long period of time, right?
Okay.
Yeah, Reliance had grown to a great extent and is still growing. And Reliance ka business has two parts, right? The 58% is from oil and chemicals and 28% is from the retail segment. And as we know ki oil ka bhav abhi बढ़ रहा hai, it is around $75. So it has already increased a lot. So we can speculate ki Reliance ka revenue will be growing to a great extent from the oil and chemical business. And secondly, the retail segment have been doing kafi well in the last few months. After this lockdown thing again happened, people are doing online shopping and stuff. So I feel ki Reliance India can have a good result this time. What do you think, Nandini? What's your take?
Absolutely. Like I think Reliance was consolidating for a long period of time. Like I think in the few past few months, right? And suddenly, I think Reliance finally supported Nifty, which took us to the lifetime high, right? And now it is the time for
Yeah.
Reliance. Plus, it's the oil sector is the one that will benefit, that will give all the benefit to Reliance at this particular point. And Tushar keeps talking about the different news that would be coming in August. What do you say about that, Tushar? I think you have a
see,
good
see,
part
I
to address.
See, I see. It's like the SEBI will catch me if I say it, but I've been saying it, guys. I've been saying it since past 1 month. Okay, something is happening in Reliance. Obviously, I got the news, and I said it should, people should go long on it. And now the AGM is coming. Let's see what. I just wanted to hear it from Shashank as well. Ki, what is going to happen in the AGM? Is it profit booking or not? But seeing at the Y data, there are a lot of news that are going to come up in the August mid and August first week. That is all I know. But it's like I think someone was writing on chat that CR7 Cristiano Ronaldo, what he did was he promoted water instead of Pepsi,
Yeah.
and the Coke shares fell down. And this
$4
this tells you
billion
that
dollars ka loss.
it's like
Yes.
he just did one move and 28,000 crores out of it. It's as erratic as it sounds, and people do that. It's a market. So that is one thing. And people, I don't know if he did that, he knew that what he was doing or not. But these kinds of move actually create a lot of panic for the investors. If someone had been investing in the Coca-Cola yesterday, they would have panicked. But why is it falling down? The reason is because CR7 is actually drinking water. So it sounds lame, but yeah, it's true.
Also, on that note, I have a question. Like the IPO season is here. I think everybody is asking us, yeah, IPO. What do we subscribe to? What do you think about it? I think we've lately not covered any of that. But I want to ask you, Shashanki, what do you look? How do you look at IPOs? Because like I know you've been an investment banker. So how do you look at it? I want to know the backside. Like, what's your thoughts when you think of IPOs?
Okay, assuming that nobody was investing in IPOs, and if I had a chance to look at it from that perspective, what do I mean by nobody's looking at an IPO? I'm talking about there's no hype around IPO. Okay, I'm muting all the hype around it, and I'm just looking and basing stuff on, say, facts and numbers and data and industry average. So when I usually do my IPO research, I only look at whether the company is good or bad and why are they doing the IPO, because the IPO is a very significant step in a company's history, right? If I am a company that is in big loan, I mean, I have a lot of loan in my bank account, I have a lot of debt that I have to repay, I go for an IPO, take most of the proceeds and repay my loan, because if I repay my loan, my interest goes low. If my interest goes low, my net profit is higher, my EPS is good, everything is good, back to normal, right? But I have seen a lot of companies where their loan amount is very big, but then when they do an IPO, they do more of an FPO where the founders and promoters sell most of their stake and are not raising more money for their own company to put back inside, right? So a lot of things I look from that perspective, not from a perspective of, what is the hype going on. For example, if you remember Loda IPO that had come, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Lodha IPO again, there was hype. It was not like it's not getting oversubscribed. Everything's getting oversubscribed at this point. But Lodha had a massive amount of debt, and the amount that they were raising from the market was peanuts, right? So even if they raised it from the market, it was there was no way in hell they were going to reduce their debt anytime soon. So I just stayed away from it. I said, you know what, I'm done, things like that, right? Now I am only looking for fundamentally strong, fundamentally good. Like for example, Nika, as someone said, is something that I'm excited for. Paytm, not so excited for, right? Because I don't know whether they're profitable or not. But I'm also looking at one more thing where, see, in startups, when they're fast growing startups, they usually tend to be in loss, right? And it works if you're in loss. It's better because you're not paying tax also. But all these startups, no, within one quarter, they can turn around their entire company and become profitable. Because when they're growing in that fast-paced environment, they have insane amount of resources, spending money on a lot of other things. All they have to do is switch off the marketing budget little bit and switch off, like, fires for few employees. The whole thing is normal, right? Everything's back to normal. So that is what I'm more interested in looking at. Is the raw material cost very high for a company, something that you cannot change, or is it extracurricular activities cost that is so high that you cannot change? And this is something I observed in Burger King, right? Burger King IPO. The reason why their net profit at the end was low was because they were spending mad amount of money on marketing. And then next year they reduced the marketing budget a little bit and suddenly they became profitable. Things
Yes.
like that need to
Yeah.
keep when it comes to an IPO. So if you look at the current IPO season, yeah, so definitely LIC is something for retirement. It won't give you so much scope for future growth for all the people who keep saying LIC. LIC is more like your ITC, let's put it that way. Okay, but little better than ITC, little faster than ITC. Because ITC is moving at like 1% a month. LIC will do much better. Look at all the other ones that are coming. Nika definitely should, I think, is good because from what I've heard, don't go for listing games, play the long game, right? Even Happiest Minds was beautiful when it came out. A lot of people, if they had bought it, it was at 300 and something when it came out in an IPO, if I'm not wrong. A lot of people did listing games and sold it, right? On day one, they sold it for 20-30% profit. If they had kept it from the IPO day, it is 3x right now.
Yeah,
So all the people who did
absolutely.
listing gains lost money.
Yeah, but I think Kushi, I remember you sharing your views on IPOs like from an
Yeah,
investment side perspective. Why don't you share that? And I want to know what would your views be on that?
see, like my views are like when I heard about this, we should not go for IPOs. There are many theories, like a first and the foremost theory which really shocked me up, like when the company files an IPO, so they just, what to say, present the balance sheet, P&L account, all the financial statement, and that can be misrepresented unless and until that company is listed. And this is the fact, like the people who are doing CFAs, they have this chapter identify the red flags. And IPOs organized, like IPOs are launched when the market is already overvalued. So these are some points which I got to know about the IPOs. So we should not just go for the IPOs as of now. And we say, like I was reading an article that they said that IPO selection is kind of random thing. So it is not kind of random thing. They have something like Shashank said, you have been the investment banker, and you know, and you might know about the realities of IPO. What's your take?
Yeah, like I've heard this, like there's this tweet I read, I think. It said ki IPOs is like money moving from uninformed investors to informed.
Last year, Steve Craft IPO was supposed to come, was launched in the month of March, but we all knew, like in the month of March 2020, lockdown happened, everything, and market was like slightly going down. And then it launched in the month of December, and we know like November, December was highly volatile in the market. So IPO launch at that time when markets are already overvalued. And if say like I'm the CEO of the company, and I'll just if my price is 500, at least I'll go for 750, and I can go beyond 750 as well, because I want to earn the profits. And that's why, like this is the thing, why I don't prefer IPOs. Like after the listing of the company, just wait for a week or a month and go and invest, because Zomato IPOs is coming. And I know that Zomato is a very great company, so after listing of Zomato, I'll just go for Zomato shares.
Yeah. That makes sense. It's always important to just see it very simply put, right? When an IPO is there, is it doing an FPO or an IPO? Because at the end of the day, whether it's an FPO or a normal primary raise for your company, the money is going from people, right, into someone else's pocket. If I am a shareholder in a company, I want the money to go inside the company so that the company can take my money and make more money in the future. That's
Yes,
basically how
exactly.
it works. But FPO, which a lot of people don't understand, is that you are giving money, but it is not going to the company, it is going to someone else's pocket. So why take my money? You take everyone else's money, let it go into your pocket. Then you start doing well. And if you're doing well, then I'll invest in your company.
Yeah, that is the point. Like after listing or after 1 week or 1 month of listing, I did same thing for the Indigo Paints when the IPO came in the
Yeah.
January. I applied, and then after 1 week, like it was growing literally. So I'm holding Indigo Paints right now as well. And for the Burger King, it happened the same way with me.
Nice.
I
Nice,
think
nice,
after
nice.
facing so many rejections from IPOs and then hearing this view, I'm like, okay, fine, TK, it's okay. I didn't get it all this while. I'm gonna do this thingy. I'll just take it from the market like after it's listed.
Yeah,
Yes,
after the
see,
hype is over, we can go for buying
exactly.
stocks. If it's
Because
fundamentally good, then yeah, obviously.
2021 is the year of IPOs, and many good IPOs are coming. So we can just wait for a week or a month. Then after listing of the company, we can just have those shares. Because if we are going for the IPO, we are going to hold it for a long run as well. So why don't we invest that IPO money in the shares money and hold it for a long term? It's a good deal, I guess.
Firstly, why is Tushar not talking? I don't know why he's not. He's very busy putting text on the chat below. Join my Twitter, join my join button, click karo. He's not talking only. What a bad host you are, bro.
No, so here's the thing, na, I'm not the host. Like I am today here because you are here. Otherwise, these are the panelists who like do this session every single day. Like like as you heard, lockdown khul raha hai. So the manufacturing firm in which I'm helping, like I'm seeing the production line, उधर time बिताना पड़ता है. जैसे तैसे
Hmm.
थोड़ा बहुत time मिलता है तो मैं इधर आता हूँ, सुन लेता हूँ कि इधर बात क्या चल रही है और इनसे बातें कर लेता हूँ about like stock market and all. Otherwise,
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
you are
into
the
market
promoter of
Transition
this
करके चला
community,
गया.
right?
for now. Yes.
Yeah, you are the
Yes.
founder of the community, so you should give people hope. It's like how this AGM is coming, and you should give people hope.
Guys,
So,
no
what
hope.
do
ठीक
you
है ना, याद
think?
रखना.
Yes. So, what do you think about China releasing the copper, aluminium, and zinc reserves? So, it has fallen the prices of India's Hindalco, Nalco, and Tata Steel, JSW Steel. So, what do you think? Can it fall more because of the
Firstly,
overseas commodity exposure?
Firstly, that was bound to happen. Number one. By the way, that's going to happen in chemical industry also. For all the people who don't know that the chemical stocks are rallying, and China was the dominant player there. Then China got screwed, so India became famous. But now what's happening is they will slowly turn this gap around where China is going to start coming back into the chemical game as well. I think it's already back, if I'm not wrong. Now all the analysts in the market are talking about something known as China plus one theory, which I feel is real bullshit. China plus one theory, and they're saying that companies in the future will use China and use India at the same time. Companies don't care about India or China. Companies care about two things. One is a lowest cost with best quality because they care about making a net profit for themselves as well, right? So it's going to be quite interesting to see how Indian players can retain their brand loyalty with all the other companies. So what has happened with steel or the metal sector from China is going to happen again with the pharma sector in China. Is going to happen again with the chemical sector in China, and everything is going to affect our Indian segment. The only thing China can't beat us, okay, the only thing that China does not have control over us is the IT part in our country. Everything else China controls. Pharma also they control.
Agriculture?
Agriculture we still control, but agriculture we have only screwed ourselves. No, so I don't have much hopes on that. China doesn't have to screw us for agriculture. We have only made it very difficult for ourselves. If our agricultural system was perfected, then it would be something else, right? In fact, I don't understand that a lot of people, right, instead of not giving the right amount to the farmers, just imagine a beautiful world where the farmers are growing their crops, getting the right amount for their crops, okay, which is like the market rate for their crops. They are happy, they make money. If they make money, what are they going to consume more? Right? They're going to buy more fertilizers. They're going to expand their land. They're going to reinvest it back. They might take a loan to reinvest it. They'll buy more tractors and they'll make more money. Right? If they make more money, they'll buy more fertilizers. They'll maybe go buy a phone. They'll maybe their per capita household income would
Yeah,
increase. Household income increases, that would indirectly contribute to the GDP of the country only. So what is, I don't know why we should,
yield will
I don't know
also
why
increase.
everything will increase. So I think you should, the agricultural sector will only flourish if we give that flourishment to the,
Yeah,
yeah, the sector,
government
right?
should
We're not
take
doing that.
initiatives. Yeah,
Yeah.
government should take initiatives to like give the money directly in the hands of the farmers rather than the middlemen and like the top class people
And
who
that's what I
like
don't understand, because it's not like the farmers are doing shortcuts, right? They're actually working hard for it. So give them what they owe. Right? That's what I keep trying to understand, that you want to cut someone else, you want to take take commission from someone else, or you want to undercut someone. Do it to other people. Don't do it to the people who are actually working in these places, right?
yes,
Like, you want to scam someone else, at least don't scam them. Like, that's the worst thing that you could actually scam. But yes, that's a whole different issue. But yeah, the day that becomes better, it'll eventually become better, slowly it will become better. The day that becomes better, and it's very similar to how it is in US, where farming lands are considered insane, that massive amount of money comes through that.
farmers
If
are
it becomes a
actually rich
system.
there.
Oh, very rich. Farmers are one of the richest people there. Like, you would die to become a farmer
Yeah,
there, right? And here it's the
yes.
opposite. So that is the problem. So the day that entire economy will just take a massive boost up. The reason being, if farmers start making a lot of money, it is a ground up approach. That money
Ground
flows
level, yeah,
upwards. Yeah, that money flows upwards. Currently, what's happening? ऊपर ही ऊपर पैसा बहुत घूम रहा है, नीचे नहीं जा रहा है. The day bottom of the pyramid get the money, the country will just boom completely.
yes.
Absolutely.
Acha,
Also,
do
there's
you
another
feel?
question.
Nandini, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, this is not something very with respect to the markets, but I'm looking at the global semiconductor issue closely, and you can see how the Western countries now are like, array, it's all in the hands of Taiwan and China at this particular point. So, do you think there's room for India to enter the semiconductor industry? Even though I know it's very hard to set it up. It takes decades to actually get to that level of economies of scale, you could say. Like, itna, the amount of money that goes into building that one plant for semiconductor and actually making it economical, it takes a lot of time. But will there be good room for India to get into that space? Because I'm sure the Western countries would now try and look for alternatives, because as of now we're just depending upon TSMC, the Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing company. And China also plans to, take over Taiwan by any way. Like, मैं तो force से or whatever, I want to take over Taiwan. They've been saying that from a very, very long time.
See, if you're talking about it from that perspective, no, India doesn't have anything that's stopping them, to be honest. Right? It's not like India can't become a hub. Right? The only thing that requires a push is that they need a push from the government also, no? Like, when the whole coronavirus thing happened, the pharma companies were given a government also. Right? A lot of rules became favorable to pharma companies. Everyone wanted pharma companies to do well. So the when in 2000s, right, when Infosys and all were still young, at that point the IT push was given by the country. That's why I keep saying renewable energy, which is such a big industry, which will be very, very, very big in the future, right? Renewable industry is not treated very well in our country yet. अभी नहीं है, बाद में आएगा, definitely आएगा. Correct. So again, there has to, if we have to be inviting to people and say, you know what, you want to build a semiconductor hub, come do it here, we'll give you some tax benefits. That's the only way you can incentivize a proper boom in that particular region, right? Because it's not local consumption, it's more on the foreign consumption side.
Yeah, absolutely. I
So
think government is like India had this thing going on right now. Like they're offering more than 1 billion in cash to someone who wishes to set up a semiconductor company in manufacturing units. But at the same time, I feel it's very hard to woo these players out there, because look at India's wobbly infrastructure, unstable power supply. I mean, I feel like it would really be hard to set it up. But then if it does, I think we will benefit in a very good way because as of now, it's just a monopoly there with Taiwan and China.
yeah, it's okay. Eventually, it'll slowly move aside. There'll be one person. There has to be a bigger person to come and start to play the game in India. To be honest, but it'll happen eventually. It's a slow process. Overnight nahi hote wo.
Right. Devjaniya, you were asking something.
Uh,
No, it was all about this only. Tushar, you can continue.
Yeah. So see, Shank, crypto madness. Is it? I think. See, is it the crypto madness? So a lot of people were actually what they were doing was they were buying random coins, right? They were literally betting on these random coins, and then you have news coming in. Okay, wow, wow. See, and then they say it's not a bubble. It's like okay, have started buying, and then they were comparing it to the stock market. So both of them combined together, obviously one derives value from something, the other is literally nothing. If you see the blockchain technology is there, but if you see fundamentally it has nothing to back it up. So tomorrow it has no circuit for like to so tomorrow it can fall 20%, 30%, whatever, right? What is the future of the crypto in terms of investment, not in terms of the technology? We've like discussed about that as well, technology mein kya hoga, but don't you think that people have created this madness, and Elon Musk specifically, or figures like Elon Musk had to do a lot with these bubbles that were being created? Same with the Bitcoin, same with the Dogecoin. And why are people actually reacting to it? If I say that Dogecoin, okay, go up, and suddenly people start buying it. And if I say, okay, no, I'm not in the mood, so then it starts falling. Why do people react to it so much? And if they do, are the big players a part of it?
So big players were always a part of it, even in 2016 when the boom happened and it ended in 2018. That time also big players. That time John McAfee was a big player, not Elon Musk. He went to jail also for it, for pumping and dumping a lot of lot of crypto coins. In fact, he got paid in a lot of crypto ICOs as well. Straight away went to jail after that because he was dumping and pumping. But he never dumped or pumped Bitcoin. That was the best part. That was the first time that happened this time. But the thing is, everyone look see when you look at stocks, everyone's like, okay, in the stock market, if you get 12% to 15%, you should consider yourself very lucky. But then the same time, when you look at the crypto market, 10%, 12% is nothing, right? The way people look at it. They're like, ये तो ऐसा दिन में ऊपर नीचे जाता है 10 20 12. Sometimes they see, and again, it's all psychology, right? Because what happens is you open coin market cap, you see one company on top which says it's gone up by 120% today. Automatically what tube light is going to go in your head? Oh shit, ek din mein paisa double, right? Because people love shortcuts. They don't want to play the long game, they want to play the short game. So whereas you open the stock market, you'll see, even if it's an amazing news, you'll see it hit upper circuit of 5% and done for the day, right? So a lot of FOMO is always there in the market, especially the crypto market. But now we should also understand each cryptocurrency is as equal to a new currency, because cryptocurrencies only work with respect to market adoption. If there is no market adoption, the cryptocurrency will not work. For example, Bitcoin market adoption was there, so it worked. Ethereum, it is there, so it worked. Ripple, not so much. That is why it's not working so well. Binance, it's being used by who's that? It's being used by the Binance exchange itself, so that's also working. So it all depends on whether it is a good company or a bad company, and will it have future expectations on it. Now see, someone asked me, what about pi network, right? Or whatever, pi whatever that is. Yesterday someone sent me a link and said, please join my pi network, because you can mine pi coins or something from your phone. I went and downloaded it. Okay, I put his coupon code also and I downloaded it. Okay, whatever that code is, referral code, and I got 3 pi coins in a day. And then it says, after 3 days or 3 working sessions of earning money from your mobile phone, then you have to invite more people and you'll get more pi coins. I said, okay, cool, this is a typical MLM scheme, it looks like, because you have to keep inviting more people and you'll make more money. Then I said, okay, cool, let me see what the token economics, how many tokens of pi tokens are there in the market. Not sure. there's no clear system on how many pi tokens are there. I'm like, okay, fine, let me see where it is listed. What is the current price of pi? It's not there. Okay, that also is not there. Okay, then how do I withdraw my pi tokens? Okay, maybe that's also not there. No proper white paper. Yes, nothing's proper, right? So as soon as you see something like this, you should be like, dude, something's not right. Because if you're doing such a big thing, if you're doing so much effort, might as well do it right. Don't do it. I mean, tell me, any company would you go do half-hearted? And if you do half-hearted, would you actually invest in that company? You'll only invest in a company that's good, right? So yeah, it's you have to start looking at it from that perspective. For someone who asked pi, so a lot of people are saying the day it lists it'll boom. Highly possible, it might boom if it lists, right? Maybe some it is, but again, if you ask me from a risk reward ratio, if you ask me today, doesn't seem like a very valuable thing. In like, people are not doing it really well, or whoever is managing it is doing a very bad job of managing it, the way I see it. But yeah, let's see. No idea. But again, it's FOMO. It's always been there. It's been there in the stock market. It's been there in the tulip, whole tulip mania that happened. It was there in GameStop. Now it has come to crypto. Then it was in NFT again in the middle. In the gaps, NFDB famous hua gaya tha for no reason. Now all that is happening. So next, I'm just waiting for the next. Then IPO came back. IPO bubble came back. Now I'm just waiting for the next hype. Kya hoga next hype? But if you see all the hype, they have one thing in common: how to make money quickly is the entire goal. Is the hype.
Okay. Okay, so it's always a psychological game, as we say. I think it's 5:19, Shashank. You may have to go now. I think we have wrapped up with all the questions as well. But thank you
Yes,
so
yes.
much for joining in,
Thank you.
Shashank. Thank you so much for joining in. And also, we were not expecting such a raid that suddenly the listeners spiked up. So also, I want to personally thank you for creating an app like Avalon. It has helped us a lot. We've been creating community as well. Bugs were there earlier, but now I think you guys have fixed it. So that's one more
Thanks,
thing
man.
to
Thanks a
mean.
lot. Yeah.
We are waiting for
But thank you.
Avalanche price.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people were
like
saying
Shashank,
Avalon
I'm
IPO, by the way.
Yeah,
on
I
IPO.
agree.
So, Shashank, I'm not even kidding. मैं road पे हूँ नहीं तो I would have like done all the things. So thank you so much, Tushar, to do all those things. And Shashank, thank you so much. And let's like plan a like okay that pre-planned collaboration. That would be the most fun thing. Like
Let's do that. Let's do that.
yeah,
Okay.
where can I
Chalo, guys.
contact you?
Bye.
Let me know that.
Yeah, because your
Instagram.
mail ID is not available.
Okay.
Chalo, chalo.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
It was
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
thank
Thank
you.
Also,
you.
everyone
Bye.
out here, I hope you guys enjoyed this today. Please join the community. Follow all of us. I think as we just saw, there's probably more collaborations with Shashank sir and a lot of other people. There's a lot happening, a lot going to happen in the InfoHub community. So please do join us and follow our Twitter account because we would like you guys to engage in giving us some good news from the globe and India, of course. And let's
Yeah,
make it
Rahul
a community where we can, all learn and grow together. Yes, Khushi.
Rahul is asking Clubhouse is better or this. Of course, this is the valuable place. This is the thing where you can learn. And in Clubhouse, it's like कि भाई तुमको जाना है time pass करके आना है. Like you will just join Clubhouse. You'll keep on joining the rooms, and you'll not get where your time goes. And
Also,
now
guys,
there
Actually,
we
is
do
the
the
thing is, Clubhouse mein there's so much happening that finding the right room is where you'll take all this time. Like, over here,
exactly.
it's diversified. It's easily available for you to check which one you wish to join. And at the same time, chat is here. Of course, who wouldn't like that? I think Clubhouse mein people are now starting to use this web-based audience, audience
Yeah, this is
participation
using
ke liye, where
the
you can
best.
chat and ask questions. It's called Slido. But you have it right here. Why would you want to use these other websites and make it a little more complicated for the listeners कि अच्छा उधर जाओ question पूछो फिर इधर आओ सुनो क्या बोल रहे हैं. Isn't this the best thing I would say?
यहाँ पे
it
सब
obviously
चीज
is,
नेचुरल है
but
नॉलेज है और वहाँ पे सब चीज लाइक but what should I say, like it's like completely a different thing from here.
but guys, we do this session every day at 4 p.m. Okay, we discuss about the Nifty Bank, technical analysis, fundamental analysis. Please do join in tomorrow as well. Although we were not expecting a raid, I don't know. See, I was just talking to Tushar and suddenly the listeners spiked up. So it was not planned. It was not a move. It was just like you can say, okay, fine. He saw it and he said it. Anyways, guys, please
Yeah,
do
it was
join
so
tomorrow at
random.
4 p.m. So it was random, but it's fine. It's good. Yeah. Can't you change the time, dude?
Thanks
Dheeraj,
everyone
I'm
for
we
so
coming.
glad कि my class got postponed today only.
Yeah, same
Yeah, we
here.
all are glad about that part specifically.
So, but see, Dheeraj, the reason we do it at 4 is because Shank's session is at 4:30, and we don't want it to. We didn't want to collide. Plus, I think someone went there and said, "Key people are at info hub," so he joined it at info hub, and so I mean, whatever. This you guys saw what happened. So,
Yeah, guys, you guys are
anyways,
OP यार. अरे यार एक ही दिन है,
but
कितनी
Yeah.
follow
बात
us.
Thank
चुराओगे?
you all for
Yeah,
staying with
Thank
us
you
for
so
so
much.
long.
for joining in and
Yeah, I
spending
like that
time
there
with
are
us.
130 people still listening us while we are doing the outro.
yes,
अरे
exactly.
यार तुम 130 ज्यादा बेटर हो, ठीक है ना? मैंने बोल दिया, वो 170 लोग जो चले गए छोड़ के, तुम बेस्ट हो गए. Let's go.
All right. See
Chalo.
you
That's
guys.
great.
Bye bye.
Anyways,
Take care,
guys.
all.
Bye, take care.
Bye
Also,
bye
guys, the
everyone.
links are dropped.